I'd like to share two quotes. Both are from activists, both are from doctors. The first is from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. in 1947. In The Purpose of Education, he wrote, "It seems to me that the education has a twofold function to perform in the life of man and in society. The one is utility, the other is culture. To think incisively and to think for oneself is very difficult. We are prone to let our mental life become invaded by legions of half-truth, prejudice, and propaganda. At this point, I often wonder whether or not education is fulfilling its purpose. A great majority of the so-called educated people do not think logically and scientifically. Even the press, the classroom, the platform, and the pulpit in many instances do not give us objective and unbiased truth. To save man from the morass of propaganda, in my opinion, is one of the chief aims of education. Education must enable one to sift and weigh evidence, to discern the true from the false, the real from the unreal, and the facts from the fiction. We must remember that intelligence is not enough. Intelligence plus character, that is the goal of true education. The complete education gives one not only power of concentration, but worthy objectives upon which to concentrate. Powerful stuff. My second quote comes from the Benjamin Dixon Show on February 10th of this year. "We all know that education is powerful, and this is really the foundation of our nation. It's when we provide a balanced education for our children that we can change our nation. We can change the trajectory of the world. And so when you look at the education system, then you say, well, what can we do to now change how our children think so that we can use it in a way for indoctrination or power control?" Indoctrination or power control. Thank you for finally being honest about your motive and intent, Chairwoman Johnson. I've been told many times elections have consequences. Well, now actions have consequences too. Thanks to your actions, Gwinnett now has secured nonpartisan school board elections. Thanks to your actions and propaganda, a Parents' Bill of Rights and a bill providing promised scholarship funds are both working their way through the General Assembly. Dr. Watts, thanks to your inaction, the Mass Georgia Students Act is rapidly working its way to the governor's desk. Rather than being a leader, you have for 6 months hidden behind the CDC, then gave us a ridiculous metric based on the entire county. As of February 22nd, there were only 68 confirmed cases out of over 200,000 people in GCPS. Thankfully, there are state leaders who will give parents the choice soon. Maybe step up and do the same for your employees' sake as well as your own. I'd hate to see you get Wilbanksed by a new board due to your actions serving the current one. I told y'all back in May that the parents of Gwinnett County were coming for you. Instead of taking me seriously, you went to the press and told them I was threatening you. As I told you before, it wasn't a threat, it was a promise. One we are rapidly delivering on. Our kids are not test subjects for your woke joke experiment. We will flip your school board in May. If you survive your latest ethics hearing, Therese, maybe you'll be here to see it. When a clown moves into a palace, she doesn't become a queen. The palace becomes a circus. Welcome to your big top.